Today's day 3 of the 7-day Halloween challenge. I know it's technically after Halloween now, but I am going to go ahead and do all 7 days because I already planned them all. Alright, so for today, supplies you'll need will be paint. You'll probably want to do acrylic paint, but there are some watercolors that'll work because we're going to be scraping the paint off. I don't really know if you can scrape off watercolor. You'll also want metallic paint, which that one watercolors might work for, because there are some metallic watercolors. You'll specifically want at least gold, but if you don't have gold, just use a different color instead. You'll also want anything in the colors orange, green, and purple, so you might grab orange, green, and purple paints, but again, if you don't have specific colors, then whatever, it's your art, man. Or woman, or NB. You'll want stencils, or a stencil you made, paper clips, an image of an owl. If you don't have random pictures of owls laying around, you can just draw one. Something to scrape paint away with. Usually I use an awl. I tried once using an X-Acto knife, and I do not recommend that. It was very dangerous. You'll want a pen or marker, and red alcohol ink. Again, if you don't have that color, but you have alcohol ink, just use whatever you have. We've got a lot of color-specific prompts today, so that's the only reason why I'm suggesting specific colors of things. So the first prompt is to peel something off of the surface. I'm gluing down some tracing paper that I had used to clean off my brayer, and then I'm just tearing it away from the edges. You could also do this with acrylic paint if you don't have any paper lying around. Next prompt is apply metallic paint through a stencil. I'm using a metallic pink paint. It's one that I've had for years now. It is acrylic. I think the brand is Doris. I don't really have the bottle sitting next to me right now. But yeah. And next prompt is to use orange, green, and purple. And here I'm using the zebra midliners to just make some doodles and marks. The patterns that I'm using are inspired by slow drawing, which is a technique that it is from Mindful Art Studio. I had recently gotten the book Draw Yourself Calm by Calm, not Calm. What the fuck is Calm? Anyway, but I got the book Draw Yourself Calm by Amy Markle, and it's gotten me really into slow drawing and doodling and stuff. And I used to be really into Zentangle, which I guess I still kind of am, but like the patterns introduced in that book are like a lot more, like they're a lot easier for me to kind of do whatever I want with them, sort of thing, because they're a lot more flexible, because they're a lot simpler than a lot of Zentangle patterns. And next prompt is to add a paper clip, and I had to think for a bit how I was going to do this one, but I decided to add it as like a wall hanging type mechanism. The prompt after that is draw items from nature, so I'm just using a micron pen to draw leaves. And the prompt after that was to use a found object to make marks with red alcohol ink. After that is to add definition to any shapes you see. So as I was looking at my piece, I saw kind of an angry face in the paint. After that, it was scrape away paint. Now this adds just a very subtle effect. You can't really see it very well. After that, it's write with your non-dominant hand, and I wrote the word spooky. After that, we've got splatter gold. I'm using a gold watercolor here because that's just easier for me to splatter than acrylics. And then draw something in a cartoon style. I decided to turn that face into like a cartoon monster. And after that, the final prompt is to glue an image of an owl, and I got this from Pexels.